So the real thing is the first video I ever made. I'm just gonna sit here. The first video I ever made on YouTube was setting up a camera on a tripod and jumping my mountain bike down a hill. Now I think I was 8 years old. This is gonna be a bit sketchy because I'm gonna bike, just gonna stay moving. And you get hit if you run the wrong red light. Let's get some speed going here. Can move. Just gotta make sure no one moves in front of me. I want to go to Broadway. That's a cool looking building. Broadway. Broadway is by far my favorite street to bike on. It's so fun, it's so sketchy, it's so fun. Got pinched. I have these super wide bars, so I have to make sure I don't take anyone out. City bike's the greatest invention in New York. For like $3 you can ride a bike anywhere you want. Absolute madness area. I've read it 5 times. If you look in here, like every page is underlined. It's like pretty much my journal for life, like this page. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Lots of people start things, few are able to finish. Why? They don't trust themselves to get to the end. They start thinking about everything that could go wrong, second guessing their choices, listening to others instead of listening to themselves. Anyone can have a great idea. It's what you do with the thought that defines you. I just ride down the middle of the street. I hope I get all the greens. It's not that hard to ride with no hands, as long as the street's good. I'm gonna run it. Look at that color. This is what I mean by the madness. Absolute madness. Every day. Broadway madness. Probably my favorite street to ride because it's so mad. Gotta make sure you don't get ran over right here, because everyone's trying to turn and get super tight. My feet are clipped in doing all this, so I really don't want to stop because it'll be hard to get back going. Gotta watch out for people crossing the street. I've been coming down here every day now for like, I don't know, 5, 6 weeks on Broadway. Take it off the bike. I'm not really gonna go too much into it. The reason I've been in New York is I've been helping somebody. He works up there in that studio. He's not there right now. That's 368, but cool guy. He became a friend of mine, and I've learned a lot in a short amount of time working with him, and I hope to keep working with him because it's been an incredible experience. Coming down here in Fide near Wall Street. We're running this right in front of the cop. Nope, no need. This is fun because it makes it difficult. I have to try to tell a good story while riding a bike. But essentially I started making videos when I was 8 years old. Never really stopped. And then you kind of just keep doing it and it opens new doors. And went from like making videos for fun to making videos for NFL players to making videos that go mega viral. United States Bankruptcy Court. Okay, now I'm on the West Side Highway, which has become my favorite running and biking path in New York. It stretches all along the west side from Fidei. I'm not sure how far north it goes. I've went, I think, about like 7 miles and then crossed over to Central Park. I honestly sold everything I owned in San Diego, and I moved here with this bike, all my camera gear, some clothes. That's pretty much it. Felt very freeing to get rid of everything. I was genuinely like scared. Was this the right decision? Am I making a good decision? And I can truthfully tell you that I made an unbelievably good decision, and I would do it again. The things that you know you should do but they feel scary, you have to do them. And you also don't know like who's gonna respond back to you until you shoot them a message. And like that's kind of how I ended up here, and like how I've been getting clients too, is like I send a text, I send a DM, and I really just try and offer to help people and like help them creatively or with a camera. And that's kind of what I've done my whole life with a camera, and it's just progressed. I started making motocross videos for free for people, and then started selling them, and then I started doing videos for Ethica, and that was like the first video I did that blew up. It got like 500,000 views on a channel, and like Malcolm gave me a shot when I was 16, and I had to like beg my parents to let me drive to Temecula to this event that was in a mall, and it's still like one of those most memorable creative moments as a kid. It's like the first time someone gave me an opportunity, and you don't really know who's going to give you an opportunity until you reach out to them. You have to put your voice out there, and you have to talk to people, and you have to offer some sort of value or service. And that's kind of like what I've realized cameras have allowed me to do. They've allowed me to offer value and service to the world that I can do with my hands, and I can like deliver something of value. Like I've been battling with myself as like, do I want to do this as a career? Do I want to do this for other people? Do I want to do this for myself? Like what is the balance of creating for yourself versus others? But at the end of it, like any video that you put out, it should be for your audience and not yourself. Maybe both, but it's to share what your eye sees with other people. And like for example, when the Venice video went viral, I made that for fun in 15 minutes, and it was the biggest video of my life, but it's because it brought value and like it acted like journalism to the world, to other people, to see what was going down, like the crazy madness of COVID. The world revolves around storytelling, emotions. People love a good story. I mean, the greatest books in the world have lasted hundreds of years because they're great stories. Bikes bring me so much happiness. Not that many people know the background, but I used to race competitive mountain bikes. Won a bunch of races, got to travel around California. So much fun. A game of lungs, tactics, and fitness, adrenaline, uphill, downhill. But it's really like playing chess, because you're racing other people and they might have the same skills as you. They might have the same skills, but not the same strategy. And I always play the strategy of sit in second or third, find the weak points, and then attack towards the end, so that you let them do all the work, breaking wind, and then you blow by them. First has to worry about them blowing up and not having the fitness that second and third do. So there is a big game of strategy involved. It's like any type of racing, a lot of strategy in racing. I love this bike, I love the color. Shadows beating me. 2 shadows. Look at that. I had all these videos. I had hundreds of videos. I think I had 500,000 views, or 1 million views, or a couple million views, or like 14 or 15. Then I deleted the channel. Got an ego, and I didn't like seeing the footage, so I deleted it all. And it's funny because I remember YouTube sent me a few checks, and then like I made a few $100 making YouTube videos when I was a kid. It's like, damn, you really can make money doing this. This is fun. But I didn't really know much, you know? Like I spent all my time on YouTube watching tutorials so I get better, then watching other creators so I could see how they're making videos and try and get better. And then you start to like take influence from other people, and you start to lose your own style. And then like you have to find your own style, find what you like to make, and you kind of go through this like turmoil between you as a creative person and like seeing other people's creations. This is crazy to me now. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, my mind blown. Like, I'm in Casey's studio. It's funny because I grew up watching Casey Neistat. Like, I grew up seeing all his videos. Like, if you really enjoy making films or art, you want to do what makes you happy and share it with the world and just see what happens, right? Like, you need money to live, but then you also, like, to make art is to, like, not really care about the money. And it's, like, the most money I've ever made from a video, I made in 15 minutes, put on the internet, went viral, and licensed it a bunch of times. It did really well from it, and it was never about the money. It was always just about the fun of like flying a drone, filming, showcasing it, sharing it with the world. And the more time I spend around people who are like the greatest at their craft, it was never really about the money. It was always about like, yeah, they made money from it, or they had money prior, or they needed to make enough money to get by. It was always about the art. It was always about telling the story. It was always about whatever someone enjoyed doing, to just do it with obsession. I've realized, I have this buddy named Zach on Instagram @BehaviorHack, and his whole mission is follow obsession. And like, when you think of like the core of what makes someone talented, or what makes someone really enjoy what they do every single day, it's obsession driving them. And in that book I showed in the beginning, Relentless, obsession drives humans to become better, to become great at what they love. And talent is usually not, I hate when people say you're so talented, because talent comes from hours. It comes from tons of hours. Like Kobe, you couldn't say Kobe was talented. He was obsessed. He was talented, but talent is hard work and dedication. The way I view it is like, I started when I was 8, and I've been obsessed with making videos and cameras and publishing on the internet since I was 8. And like I'm 26 now, so it took a lot of fucking time and obsession to have an outcome that like finally, like it just takes time. Even working for the NFL, like you learn so much and you become a machine. Like I was a machine there. You make a shit ton of videos. You make a video every single day, and instead of being creative, you're a machine. And it makes you get better. It gives you skills, and like there's perks. Like nothing really happens overnight. And like I've been obsessed, and I think that like people really do need to find like things that they could like do endlessly with no outcome or expectations, but they just love to do and partake in, so that it does one day like snowball and compound and the momentum stacks up. It makes me feel grateful that like, I found something as a kid that I really enjoyed, that I kept pushing forward in. And like I can understand how people could feel so lost in life if they don't have something that makes them wake up driven to pursue. I like New York. It just makes me happy to be here. I find myself in little states of like happiness and joy, even though I wouldn't say I'm necessarily like a happy person all the time, but which I think that's because like I have these really crazy dreams, goals, and visions, and like I can't, like I go mad. Like I feel like I'm going mad. I often feel like I'm going extremely mad, and I have to keep going mad to like keep that fire alive in me, because it keeps me interested in achieving more and reaching higher. So something I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life is I'm so happy I'm in New York now, because when Casey came to my house, I was living with my dad, and he made a comment, "Why are you living here? Life needs to be more difficult. This is where people retire. You're living too comfortable." And in that moment, like I had already been feeling those feelings, and sitting in them, and felt kind of stuck a bit in San Diego, because I really wasn't doing or working or being working at the highest level, you know. I just felt stuck. And in those seconds when he said that, like I had that like reassuring realization that everything I'd been thinking, he had just kind of stated and threw out there and slammed on top of me. And like I was like, yeah, I do need to go throw myself into the fire. And I think when you have those thoughts that you kind of run away from, well, you try to run away from them, but you shouldn't. You need to really understand that those thoughts are important, and then you need to feel them, and then you need to attack them. And like when you know you can do better, you have to go do better. Like, because at the end of the day, like you're hurting yourself if you don't. Like, by hurting yourself, you're hurting others around you, because like if you're not performing at the highest level, I don't know, everything kind of just like affects the people you surround yourself with. Like, I really went through like some dark periods living in San Diego. I know, because like I was just battling my own problems and like running from everything I knew I needed to work on, or just do, like in general, like work harder and be better, think less, do more. But when you put those, like all of that together, and you actually take action, like the world revolves around action and momentum, and it's gonna reward you. And you really, really just have to take fucking risks that feel uncomfortable. Everything you do is gonna affect your future, like whether good or bad. Like anything bad you do is gonna affect your future. It might affect your short-term future. Like anything good is gonna affect, because everything compounds. And like I really love the 1% rule. The 1% better a day at something. Thank you, cameras, because I was thinking, like, I didn't go home for Thanksgiving this year, and I was just writing all the things I was thankful for. Like, besides my family and like materialistic items, like there's only a few materialistic items that I'm thankful for, and like those are cameras for sure. And pair that with like a mind that wants to tell stories. I don't know how I'm gonna put this video together. Like I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna structure this. But what I will say is, if you have crazy visions, ideas, dreams, the only person that can achieve those is yourself. So don't run from them. Every time you run from them, you hurt yourself more. And you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel that anxiety or depression. Like, I always tell people that the only way to not feel crazy is to be a bit crazy. Being crazy is chasing dreams. And a lot of people know that. Like, a lot of people know that. Like, the craziest people in the world are dreamers that chase crazy dreams. I just wanted the people to realize that everything just takes hard work, and to not quit, because one day it'll pay off. I love working around like the best. Like the best is exciting because they followed pure obsession and absolute madness to become the best at what they do. And like, just working around someone who's the best in one realm, like you start to see similarities of other people, and it relates to focus, discipline, and never quitting.